Well, hello. We're here at TOC Americas 2015. It's the second day and we've just finished our session looking at port productivity and congestion, moving the needle. I'm very pleased to be joined by one of the speakers from our session, Russ Held, who is Vice President Economic Development with the Port of Virginia. She's going to talk to us a bit about the issues that he's raised in the conference session.
Thank you, Rachel. It's a real pleasure to be here at TOC America's great conference. I really feel fortunate that many of the speakers have already talked about the Port of Virginia, and especially the fact about the Port of Virginia being big ship ready. And what that really means is we have the infrastructure to handle the big ships. We have 50 feet of water, the ability to go to 55. We have the cranes that can handle the post-Panamax ships today. We're currently doing over 2.5 million TEUs a year. We're pretty much seeing 8-9% annual growth on that. And it's both for the Virginia market and for the reach to the hinterland. Again, speakers here at the conference talk so much about the ability to get to and from the Midwest of the U.S. And we have two Class 1 railroads that provide that. One of the other things we have going on, which I was able to speak about, is that we have short-haul inland ports too, and really several. Virginia Inland Port, the Port of Richmond, and a short-haul rail to Greensboro, North Carolina as well. Yeah, that's interesting. We've been talking about the Panama Canal really for a good while, for the 10 years since the planning started and the construction on the expansion started. And we knew we had natural assets. We were blessed with natural assets as far as central location and deep water, and we've been able to enhance those with planning. And the other part of planning is enhancing the infrastructure as far as the cranes, the capacity landside, having the gates and the systems to handle the cargo. And what we're also seeing is building the infrastructure outside the gates. So it's first and last mile highway systems. It's the ability to get trucks to and from the terminal. And like I said, other ways of moving cargo, both by barge and by rail. Well, I think maybe traditionally the seaports are somewhat thought of to enhance or serve a local region. Now there's obviously examples different from that, but we're seeing that we don't have a huge population consumption base in the Virginia area, and we really are a regional port, mid-Atlantic and to and from the hinterlands or the Midwest. And part of that is the natural assets that are available, but also visionary leadership in the past, both on the public side and the private side, that have enhanced the networks and the infrastructure to serve bigger markets. And I think we're fortunate to be at a position where we find ourselves able to do that today, and especially in a position that we're moving forward to enhance that, put more investment into the infrastructure and get that done. Now, it's all not on the public side, like I said. It's really a matter of having partnerships, both public and private, that work together to make the whole system work. We really were somewhat overwhelmed with the cargo volumes that came because of the uncertainty with the labor conditions on the West Coast. We saw massive growth, as did most of the ports on the East Coast. And yes, we ran into some congestion issues. We weren't getting the ship-to-rail turn times that we wanted. We certainly weren't getting the truck turn times that we wanted. And we stepped back and looked at what the operations looked like, came up with ways to enhance the operations, put the investment in that we could do immediately on more equipment handling, on better processes, on communication with our partners, being the railroads and the trucking companies and the shippers. And I think an important thing was enhanced communications as well. And something that came out in some of the sessions today, but also something that we're realizing and trying to work on, and I think the industry in general needs to work on, is communication, whether it's reservation systems for picking up cargo or dropping off cargo by truck, or whether it's better communication between ocean carriers and terminals to really spread out when ships are coming and going, so there's not batching of ships on the berth, or even spreading out the supply chain more year-round than in peaks and valleys and surges. And I think we're seeing some of that happening, and we certainly need to enhance that as much as we can. One of the things we talked about in the last session was, well, how do you measure those across the industry? And even though we all look at those, we all pretty much measure those different ways. So it would be worthwhile to come up with measurements that everybody can agree to or understand or compare each other. I unfortunately don't have that answer of how we do that, but I think we keep working with our port partners and other ports and come up with those measures. Something else that was measured that speaks to the public so that they understand the importance of the ports and what we're doing is job creation. And I think that's a great thing to look at for ports, to engage the public and to get the buy-in from the general public so that public will reinvest in public ports, and we can just keep the momentum moving forward as far as growth. Well, it's been a good experience. First, as far as the whole Panama Canal experience, I said earlier that we've been talking about it, and here we are within a year of completion of the expansion. So it's really an exciting time in the industry and from the general public knowledge and awareness of this port expansion and canal expansion project is what I'm trying to get at. I'm happy that it's brought general public awareness to international shipping, and that's been one of the themes of the conference. And to see the optimism around and the excitement in the industry is something that I feed off of as well. And so many of the terminal operators here and the vendors and providers all getting together and looking to the next generation of equipment and infrastructure and information technology and capability, that I certainly am excited about the current and future state of the industry.